Okay, so far in this tool, what we have is we create the skeleton on one half so that we can reposition joints. The X is locked on the center joints. And then we can move in any axis any of the other joints here. Then we create the rig, which right now just parents all of the joints together. Something that we have to watch out for now is that we have a lot of rotation values on all of these joints here. And basically to fix this, all we have to do is freeze transformations. And when we freeze transformations, we keep the x-axis. Right now, I've been looking on here, and it shows that we are locked on the gray, but on the x-axis, because it has a gray tick. But if we actually look at it, we set keyframes on the object, and let's say we move it here in the x. We obviously can move it in the X and keyframe it, whereas this is locked also, and it actually like shows it in a locked channel. So if we go to channel control right here, it shows that the x-axis is locked, or it's not keyable, but obviously we can key it. Like we can even just key the single axis, key selected, and then go forward 20 frames, then adjust that value to something else, and then let's key that channel by itself, and then we can scroll here, and obviously it's allowed to key. It seems like it might have glitched something in the backend in Maya, so if you're having that same issue and it looks like it's locked, it doesn't seem to be locked. If I see anything different, we'll come back and fix it later. If you do notice anything, let me know in the comments and we can fix that. But that gives us a clean rotation value. So basically we select the joint after they're parented and then modify freeze transformations. And if we look at the we're in object mode, and it keeps it in that orientation. Okay, so yeah, that's where we stand on that. We can see that it is oriented, and it keeps the orientation with that. So that is the modify freeze transformation. So if we look at the command here, for freeze transformation, it is make identity. We have to tell it to apply true, and then we get to choose what axes or what translations. If we want translation on, rotation, and scale when we freeze transformation, because we can choose each one of those. Also normals and point normals. So basically what we want to make sure is I am doing the rotations, but we're going to do rotation, translation, and scale just to make sure. So if we look over here in the create rig, we've parented the joints already. We can see in the parent joints to see if we can do it in there. That way we don't have to write a whole nother script and kind of find each one of the joints. So let's look at parent skeleton. So parent skeleton calls the create joint, and it tells us which joint we want to do. Or sorry, that's create skeleton. We got the create joint, that's fine. Parent joints, so we have here where we're selecting one joint and then the next joint and then parenting them. So that is what we are doing already when we parent joints, so it doesn't have something that's calling them already. So it looks like we can create our own function here. Let's do freeze transforms on all joints. Okay, so let's create that function. We're gonna define freeze transforms on all joints. And then basically we want to do a loop and select all of the joints. And we've named the joints with underscore JNT. So what we can do is create a list of the joints. So we're going to say all JNTS is equal to mc.ls. And then the list that we want to do is, if we do star underscore JNT underscore star. So that way we're freezing the transformations on all the joints. And then let's just print all JNTS. Okay, so let's run this now. And let me clear out the scene. So here we can see that it has all of the joints selected in the list, which is exactly what we want. Oopsies. So that looks good. And then we can say for all JNT in, let's do this lowercase, JNT in all JNTS. What we're going to do is call the make identity function, mc.make identity. There you go. Then we're going to select the joint. So we're going to say JNT, comma, apply equals true, transform equals true, rotate equals true, scale equals true. And let's see if this works. So selecting everything, and let's run it. Let's clear the scene with our little tool here. And then let's create skeleton, create rig. Let's clear the scene. I think it was just because from this one, because if you push it twice, you get that error. So let's clear the history really quick. Clear history and just double check. Create skeleton, create rig. There we go. It looks good. We don't have any errors. Oh, we do have an error. Oh, that's from before. Don't worry about that. And here we can see all the center joints are zeroed out. And they are aiming in the right direction. And that goes along with all the arms and everything, because it did that with all the joints. Also, we can check the end joints here. And the end joints are working properly. So that is cool. It's all oriented the way we expect it to be. it's all good. All right. Okay, so that is zeroing out the joints for this lesson. So let's go in and freeze the transformation, or save this script right here. So let's save it, and we will continue on in the next video.